All right, good morning. It is Thursday, March 21, just after 7 a.m. And I'm just getting myself set up here. There is some news right at 7, so I'm just making sure it's not too crazy, but doesn't look like too much to worry about. Maybe getting caught on the first trade. See if this thing can work. Oh, it's going to get me. All right. Seems like some days I just start with a loss. This was the first entry that did not work on this entire chart the whole session. So looks like look, it's going to top tick me and then go on to work. Maybe I should have tried for a different swing to move it, but all right. Never a fun way to start. All right, so I've got a chart burned right off the bat, unfortunately. Update my stats here. That's a bummer. Every time I get this 25K over starting balance, I pick up a loss and go right back. Right. Yeah, Saggy, you say that every time. Yes, we already know that my losses are going to be bigger than, you're saying opening. Okay, here's what Saggy said. According to my experience on your channel, you take a loss in the opening and that losses are bigger compared to your other losses. No, this is an average size loss for me. But you're right. Often when I take a loss, it can be my first trade of the day, it seems like. It's not the opening. I mean, I just started, but that trade was after 7. So the opening was, 35 minutes ago. All right, let me update my stats. Also, look at how my loss was. I mean, I got top ticked. Look at this. It went just a couple ticks beyond. What's the high of this? 54. And where's the next swing high? 55. So if I had just moved it, this is what I've talked about a couple times now. I have a rule where if I enter under a bar and then the bar that I enter on engulfs it immediately, I'm supposed to actually move it to the next swing high, right? And that would have saved this trade, but I didn't do it. I probably should have, but I just, for whatever reason, I didn't do it because it's not that big of a difference. I should have done it and risk taking a little bit bigger loss. But look, it would have worked if I had done it. So I think when the previous swing is that close, like I should just do it. But when I've been trading a PA, I've decided not to so far. Hey, Gary. Morning to you. Unfortunately, my morning didn't start off great as I've taken a loss. But moving on. All right, so I'm going to trade my PA2 next. Hopefully I'll have better luck. I don't get too upset when I get a loss like that, especially on the first trade, because again, I'm trading the chart. So, well, you can look at it, and for me, I'd say, yeah, it's not a great signal bar. It's kind of stacked up. There's reasons to not love the trade. But I'm playing the whole chart, and every single second entry on this chart from the time it opened the session the previous day had worked for my scalp. So there was no other reason for me to not take the trade in this case. And as you can see, I just, I barely got ticked out of it before it went and would have worked for my scalp. So if I wasn't using a stop, or if I moved my stop to the previous swing, like my rule says I can do, when the entry bar engulfs my signal bar, then I could have avoided a loss. So it's just another data point to put into my my trading. I'm already aware that rule would have saved me a number of times, and then that rule would also not save me sometimes. So sometimes sometimes I'm just going to have to accept my loss when I get them. On the bright side, I've still got $1,000 drawdown on this PA. So, yeah, it sucks to be set back a little bit, but I've been here before on this account, just like I'm there on this account. And quite frankly, I'd rather have it be on this account than on this account. So I'm cool with it. And 35, I'm going to continue to trade because it's going to renew soon. And I'd rather get back to the full drawdown on it, or blow up the account so that it could reset on the renewal. Especially since they run these like 1 day, 3 day passes all the time now. Not that I ever expect to pass them that fast until I at least get one payout. All right, so I'll just wait for my next setup and see what I get. I'm not trading on this chart anymore. Put that one to bed. What's interesting is if you look on this chart, here's a first entry short, and then under this bar, second entry short. That would have worked on this chart. And I have another chart where the same trade happened at the same time also. First entry under here, hard to tell. That does tick below here, then ticks below this bar. That also is enough room for it to have worked for my trade. So I just happened to be on the one out of 3 charts that had the same setup that took the loss. So it's just kind of bad luck, honestly. So we'll see if I can still salvage this day by trading other accounts and hopefully progressing the other accounts, even though I took a hit on these. I'm going to continue trading 35 because whether I do more damage to it or not doesn't matter to me. So I might as well take a look at the daily. No analysis, but okay. So we did reach all-time new highs at the high. I see that now. And, you know, considering that, I wouldn't be surprised if it tried to make a run and close the gap. But it's also such a strong day up that it might not be able to. So that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, just going back to your comment, Saggy, these losses aren't bigger than my other losses. This is like an average loss for me. This account's bigger just because I traded an extra. I trade 3 contracts on the 50Ks, and I trade 2 contracts on the PAs. So like a big loss for me would be more like 600 or 700. Or Yeah. Because the bar I lost on was only 41 ticks or something, so that's nothing in my system. I've taken losses off bars like this that are 82 ticks, so double. Saggy says, yep, my mistake. I was looking something, so then I remembered you using copy trader on that. Saggy says, in range, is there any news coming? I think all the news is gone, for what my news thing reports. All the news has already happened. right, so I don't mind if I got a second entry short off of the opening price line or near it. I thought that would have worked already. Let's see. Just has a little further to go there. Oh man, that was really close right there. Come on. It goes within a tick. This will be a real bummer if this turns around on me. I think I was within a tick there. Oh man. This is gonna work out. Here we go. Come on. One last push. Oh, never feels good when it goes to within one tick of where you're going to lock it in. Again, come on. You're right there. There we go. All right. Had to work for that one. All right, so that was good for 4.25 points. So that's 17 ticks. Just thinking to myself, that can't give me a second losing trade in a row. There's just no way. Let me update my stats here real quick. I'm going to move on from PA2 and go to PA7 next. All right. Sagi says, what is your biggest winning streak? Well, I know I went on a, what was it, last week? I was 12-11, I believe. And my first trade of the week was a loss. And then I won 12 in a row last week. And then I started off this week with a win or 2 or 3. I forget exactly. So right there, I think my winning streak was like 12, 13, 14, or 15. I'm not sure exactly. I don't remember. But I definitely can go on those streaks. All right, so the day already feels a little bit better as I've now got the most important account up $127 today. And look, I know 127 isn't much, but my whole game plan is to go small and go slow. And really my prime focus has been this one account. Not that I'm trading it any different than any other account, but now less than $650 away from a payout on that account. And that $2,000 will change entirely the way I can move forward. So when I can get that payout. So, you know, if I can get lucky enough to not have a loss land on it in the next 2 weeks, then I should be there. In the meantime, I'll try to bring PA7 back a little bit next, hopefully. And I'll continue to trade 35. I'm actually going to, how much drawdown do I have on 35? I've got 1,500. I was going to say I was going to raise the contract to 4, but I'll leave it at 3 for now. All right, I'm just going back. This second trade that I took, even though it struggled to work for a while there, definitely made me nervous on this bar, but it was exactly what I was looking for, which was a trade off of this level, off the opening price. And I've just noticed that more and more, to really trust the setups that happen at those levels. See, we went through it after the open, and then we came back under, and it tested it and got rejected. And so this was like a secondary rejection from there. So it was exactly where I said I wanted my setup to occur if it was going to occur. And oops. Yeah, perfect touch on it. So I felt good about the trade, and clearly it had a big move off of it. So that's definitely one of the better trades. I know I could try to capitalize more. You know, I could have got more than 17 ticks, but that's not my strategy. So the thing is, if I'm ever choosing to go for more than what I go for, then I'm not going to find charts like the way I find charts. You know, the whole thing is finding charts that are continuously working since the session open for my my scalp. You know, so if I'm looking for bigger targets, then you know, you probably never find a chart that is consistently working like that. Oh, I'm tired. All right, so 1 and 1 for the day. I'm going to trade my last remaining PA that hasn't been traded yet next. I'm still just copy trading to 35. So I'll leave that on. And I mean, for the week, I'm, you know, right at my rate that I've had for the whole year, winning rate, 78%, 81% overall for the year. So that's why I can't let one loss get me down, even when it's on 2 accounts, you know. because this account 35 really is arbitrary to me at this point. My plan was to, and you saw I had it over 50,000 again. It was down to like 48,000. It was down to like 48,600 or something at one point. So I had brought it back a lot up until this loss. My game plan was to just start trading bigger contracts on it and continuing to copy trade it with every trade. So I think it's going to take me a couple more trades again, get back above 50 before I can go to 4 contracts. And then I got to just double check when it renews, because I'm not going to let it renew at this level of the balance and drawdown. It makes more sense to just get a new account for the same price. But hopefully I'll be able to pick up a win on this next PA account that I'm trading. And then it'd be great to move on to like 31 and hopefully try to get that one passed, because that might be 1 or 2 trades. It's possible to do it in 1. It's more likely to happen in 2. As well as trade 27 and get that one closer. So there's still some good things that can happen today. Saggy says, did you reset 26? Yeah, 26 was a blown account. And so I just left it as a blown account, and it renewed, it renewed yesterday, I think. So it resets when it renews. Saggy says, weak in English, so trying to understand. Sorry. But yes, that's correct. I didn't reset it. It renewed. The monthly subscription renewed. And because I had already blown up that account previously, it comes back as if it's a new account. All right. Something a little screwy happened there. So I had to close that manually. It had already hit my profit target and didn't fill me on my, I don't even know what, it happens when I see something still going on in here in the position when I should be out of the trade. I don't even look and see what the, which account it is. And also because I have two accounts, but it looked like I had to cancel two accounts. So I probably should have had a little bit more than what I got on that trade, but I'll take what I got. I even tried to give it an extra beat when I noticed that it didn't fill my my Apex accounts to close it, but looks like I got 10 ticks. All right, update my stats here real quick. And this is day 7. All right, so I'm done with my P accounts for today. 2 PA accounts getting better, 1 PA account getting worse. We'd love for all 3 to be better today, but that's the way it goes. So now I'm 8-2 for the week, which is right at my average rate for the year. So, you can see, even though I've got this loss today, I'm right where the numbers say I'm going to be. Now, 80% is a little bit lower than I'd like. I really think I need to be closer to 85. So I'm at 81% overall, right, for the year. I really think that number needs to be closer to 85 to 90. But I also think that with some of the things I'm doing recently, like my loss today was almost unavoidable. There was one way I could have avoided it, like I was talking about with moving my stop to the previous swing when it gets engulfed. But regardless, there's some of the things I've been implementing recently to be able to skip a couple of setups that tend to lose more. I think ultimately that number is going to get higher, this 81%. I think it's just going to take some time, obviously, because it's a big data set now. So the other thing I was going to say is just, I start off with a loss and it looks bad and it feels bad, right? But instead of working to get that loss back today, moving on for me to other accounts and improving those accounts is more worthwhile, because as you can see, I'm trading account 35, and yeah, my strategy, my losses are bigger than my wins. So if I'm just trying to get it back, now I've got to commit all this extra risk to just try to get back to where I was on the account. I'm still down $370 on this evaluation, which has been on each trade today, all 3 trades. So this evaluation is 2-1 today. I'm down 370. I'm still down the 458 on my PA account. But what I like is that, okay, I took a hit on this PA account and this evaluation, but I've still progressed 2 other accounts now. PA7 has a long way to go. It's still under starting balance, and PA2 is the one that's on its way to being where I want it to be. But, short of copy trading and adding on accounts after my loss, to me, this is the best way I could do it. where it takes a day where there's a sting of getting a loss, and it kind of numbs it or makes it less important because other accounts are progressing. And that's just what's working for my psychology. I really, once I've started trading like this, it's, look, nobody wants to lose. I definitely don't want to lose. I don't like seeing these red numbers. But it just takes the sting off of it for me to know that, like, okay, well, at least like I'm a little bit closer on PA2, for instance. At least I got a little bit back on PA7, you know? So that's just kind of what's working for me psychologically. Sagi says, broke my rules today, trading against my system, gambling, so took a loss of $106. All right, well, that's all right. Everyone has a slip, makes a mistake. I think the key for me is always I do better when I'm not beating myself up after a loss. Mistakes happen. Definitely trading this system for me, the way I've started trading, because I'm not really applying a lot of analysis to the reason why I take a trade. When I do get a loss now, I don't feel like, oh, well, I made a mistake, because the trade I took a loss on, I'm supposed to take. Virtually every setup I'm supposed to take, except for a very limited few. So with my system, that's helped me to be able to have a system like that where, if you make a mistake and don't follow your rules for whatever instant, you're getting into a trade, and it's just, when you get into a trade, your decision making is so fast when you're going to get in or not. It's like a split second, right? And so it's easy to make a decision that you regret in hindsight based on your system when there's like analysis and subjectivity involved. So, yeah, I get that. But I think the key hopefully is, you just take it with take it with a humbleness, and you got it wrong that time and you'll get it back, and you've been doing good getting back to break even. But it's got, I think it's good to be able to accept a loss, and whether you get it back that day or not, as long as you're not revenge trading and trying to just get it back at all costs, staying within yourself, staying within your style of trading. And, as long as you're doing that, you should end up all right, I think. But yeah, trust me, I know how it feels to take a loss. Yeah. It's never fun. No matter how well you take it, it's like no matter how much the loss, how much, like for me, I feel like I've done the best I can in a system to nullify what the loss feels like to me. It still doesn't feel good, especially to start off with it, or it's your first trade of the day. And then it's just like, oh man, it's just not how you want to start with that feeling. For me, breaking my rules is different, because breaking my rules is like taking a trade on a chart that I'm not supposed to be trading on, or taking an entry into one of these new levels that I've talked about, like where I took it off of the level here against it, using it as resistance. Breaking my system would be taking a long right into that level, right? So it's harder for me to break that rule because it's like black and white. And so I'm either not going to take it because I'm following the rules, or I know I'm breaking the rules the second I take it because it's just super obvious. Otherwise, like my loss today, there's no rule to keep me out of this trade according to my system. Other people might say, well, it's not a bearish bar, so you shouldn't take that trade if they're trading price action. But I don't care what the signal bar looks like. I liked that it was against the EMA. And really the only rule it's not that I broke a rule, but the only rule that I should have implemented is moving my stop above this swing high. I should have measured and saw where this one is because it's lower, 52.50, 53. I kind of took for granted that these were like the same swing, but they weren't. I should have been looking for the swing high before that was higher. So live and learn. And it's funny, it doesn't fail me. Every single time I'm going to bed and I'm thinking about where my PA accounts are. And last night, this account was at 25,250, I think, when I started this morning. When I was going to sleep, I was thinking, oh, wouldn't it be great if this PA and this PA were to get to pay out at the same time? And then every time I think that way, that's when I get a loss on one of them. That affects like my little kind of dream. Sagi says I am running with 4 evals. My P&L is plus 440, minus 250, minus 250, minus 276. So it was your one loss today. I was totally gambling today. Don't know why. Oh, I see. So one of your evals you managed to not trade when you got the loss, but the other 3, it looks like you traded all 3 of those at the same time. So was your gambling just the fact that you were copy trading your trades, or was it the trade you took that didn't work out? Copy trading. Yeah. Copy trading is like the devil in disguise. Copy trading is amazing when you pick up those wins. It's like awesome to see green on multiple accounts. You took one trade and you multiplied it. You multiplied your profit. But man, when you pick up those losses, it really sucks. Even for me today, like my loss, I copy traded to account 35, and I don't even really care about 35 because I have so many other evaluations that are in a much more, that are just in obviously a better position. All my other ones are, going towards the target. That's the only one going away from the target. But even though I don't even care about 35 and it's going to renew soon, I'm going to maybe even try to just blow it up or pass it in a day at some point here. Even then, when I got the loss and it was like on 2 accounts, it just magnifies the feeling that you get when you take the loss. So it just, to me in general, it's not worth it at this stage. I mean, at some point, if I'm profitable, I'm way ahead, I've got a bunch of Apex's money in my pocket, then maybe that's the point where you start gambling and taking more chances like that. But otherwise, I don't know. It's not really worth it to me. Like I tend to more be willing to copy trade just when, did I pick another account? Yeah, this is just on account 35. Okay. So this trade was setting up. I wasn't thinking that this trade would set up here, and then I ended up doing it. And then at the last second, I realized, wait a second, I haven't picked a new account. The one thing I did do is I turned off my PA account previously after the last win. So the only account that was still chosen was the valuation 35. And so instead of missing the trade, trying to add a different account onto this trade, I just decided, okay, I'll just take it on this one account, which kind of sucks to me because I do wish I was able to take it on another one of these accounts, but I just I wasn't prepared, unfortunately. think I saw that my copier had an account chosen, but I forgot that I was just going to copy trade 35 on everything. How many did I get? Of course, this will be the one I got the most on, probably. Let me see. 4.25. So it's the same as here, 17 ticks. All right, so plus 17. And I'll update my stats. All right, so my next trade, I'll trade account 31. But I miss. Saggy says my system is showing buy signal, but I was assuming the market will go down because of that big bearish candle. When I was new at trading, my mood changes when I took a loss. Now my mood changes when I didn't follow my system. Well, that's improvement because of my assuming I took a loss. I think should hire a robot for trading. Yeah, well, I mean, it's true. I mean, I'm trying to trade more kind of like a robot in a sense as well. All right, so another win. Got even less. That's annoying. I get 9 ticks, looks like. All right. So now I'm really close on 31 to passing, but would have been nice if this one gave me a little bit more because it, as you can see, definitely ran a little further. But it is what it is. I'm happy with that. So this is trade 5. I was reading comments while that was setting up, and glad I was paying attention still. All right, 31 and 35. And this was plus 9 ticks. So like when you said you feel like you should hire a robot for trading, like that's exactly like an example of this trade for me. I knew it was a second entry long, and instead of like doing any kind of analysis to be like, okay, do I believe it's going up? Is price going up or down or what's happening? I'm just trying to be a robot myself and say, okay, well, there's an entry, and I got to take the trade, you know? So it's like there was no analysis or anything that happened here. Like I just come off taking a short the previous candle, and I said, oh, now it's long. So I took it. And that's kind of my motto, honestly, is to try to trade like a robot. So hold on, let me update my stats real quick. All right. So he says one trade and you're going to pass 31. Yeah, one trade away now. One trade away, but yet I'm still not going to trade it today because I'm going to stay within my system and my rules for my system. And so my rule is one trade per account. The only account that I'm not doing that with is account 35, which, look, I've brought all the way back to break even essentially for the day, which is pretty cool. You know, some people might look at that and say, oh, you took that same loss as the PA account. Now, if you had just been trading your PA account the same way and taking all these same trades, then your PA account would be break even for the day too. And while it's true, in this case today, just happens to work out that way that I took a loss and then I've gone on to have 4 winners in a row and I'd be break even. Just as easily, I could have picked up another loss today. And then if I pick up another loss on this PA6, it's almost as good as dead. You know, if I take another $450 loss, it'll be really hard to bring it back. So, having said that, that's the reason why I won't trade it again today. And, you know, my whole risk management with these accounts is that it's going to take me more than one day and more than one loss to severely damage the account or blow it up. So I've always got another chance on another day. And I'm willing to just accept having that red there. So 31, kind of the same idea. I've got profit, and I'm not going to put it at risk today just to try to pass it, because whether I take another trade today or another trade tomorrow, the setups are going to be the same. The scenario is going to be the same in terms of why I'm taking a trade. And so I'd rather just lock it in for the day and move on to another account and see if I can progress another account now. So I'll go to 27 next. And again, I'm going to continue to leave 35 on. But again, it's like, so now it's, you know, I'm 4-1 for the day. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And I know those losses are going to happen from time to time. And it didn't feel good when it happened, but like it feels a lot less important now than it did earlier. And look, I mean, I'm still talking about small numbers here, right? So it's still the biggest number on my board is that loss on that PA account. But overall for the day, I'm still red 176 overall. But I look at it like I'm positive on three accounts. You know, one account's break even, one account is red, but three accounts I've improved. So to me, I feel like I'm having a winning day. All right, there's another one. Different chart. I saw this setting up. So this was, geez, what trade number is this? Where did I leave off? Trade 6. So this was evaluation 27 and 35. And I got just shy of 4 points, 3.75 points. So that's 15.6. Oops, what did I do? All right, so go ahead and update my stats once again. All right. So what started off as having a bad day, starting off with a loss on the first trade, all of a sudden is not looking so bad anymore, you know? So now I've only got one red on the board. Yeah, if I would trade multiple account or trade the same account multiple times on the same day, yeah, this would be now green. Yeah, I suppose maybe I would have passed this one already, but I'm just taking it slow and steady. So yeah, just what felt like might turn into a bad day. I'm 5-1. There's nothing wrong with that, and I'll just continue to move forward here. So 27's got its win, getting closer there, and I'll move on to another account. So let's go to 33. Saggy says, having dinner. Have a great trading day. Thanks, Saggy. Thanks for joining me today. Have a good dinner. And if you come back to trading, good luck. Otherwise, see you tomorrow. See, it's 8:15, so I've still got some time here. I'm just going to step away and do a couple things real quick. Here, I'll be right back. I just went back also to look at my original chart that I was trading that I took my first trade and lost on. And it's always amazing when this happens. So my trade happens to be the only second entry on the entire chart for the session that didn't work. My first trade of the day. So, you know, talk about unlucky. If I had started just a couple minutes later, I wouldn't have even been trading on that chart, and I would have been 5-0 for the day. So sometimes losses are just a timing thing. You know, timing's a little off, and you get that loss. So it's all good though. Just the way it goes. Doing a little housekeeping here. So 5 and 1 for the day. And still got some time to trade. And now really at this point of the day, it feels like all the pressure's off because I'm done trading my PA accounts. And really the accounts that are left to trade are not the closest to passing. So no matter what happens with them, I can accept it. I improved a couple accounts that are close to passing, 2 of them. And I've improved my PA2, which is closest to a payout. So it feels like today I'm on a successful mission, even though I did take a hit on one of my PAs. And I've got 3 more accounts to trade. And I'm going to continue trading this evaluation 35. In fact, I'm going to think about raising it to 4 contracts. Got over 2,000 drawdown. Yeah, I'm going to raise 35 to 4 contracts now. Let's see, overall I'm up $190 basically right now, taking into account this loss. But I don't really look at it that way or think about it that way. I just look at it as I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 accounts that have improved today and 1 account that took a hit. And the highest balance I've ever had on PA2 is 52,000, like 60 or something like that. So basically $100 behind the highest level I've had that account at. So not a bad day. Started off terrible with one loss on my PA, and then 5 in a row. Yeah, in theory, if I was 5-1 every single day, spreading them across these accounts, they're just going to slowly start passing and getting payouts one by one. Some are going to drop off eventually, or be continuously digging out of a hole, but others will continue forward. So, yeah, so far, it just always feels like the system's working pretty well for me. And it's all just still an experiment at this point. So I gotta just keep going and see where it takes me. And again, a day where I've got 6 trades in a single day. I didn't used to ever get 6 trades in a single day. So that as well is pretty huge for me. I'm just going to take a couple minutes real quick, and I'll be right back. All right. Seems like every time I say I'm taking a break, whoever's here disappears, and then maybe they come back. So when I left for a reason, which was I didn't want to get tempted into the second entry short here. First entry short, second entry short below this bar. These are the ones I often see lose. Bullish bar right above the EMA after it's made 2 legs down and then made a new low. So I just decided I'd walk away to just not let myself getting tempted to get into this trade. And the setup occurred on all of my remaining charts. So all 3 of my active current charts. If it ticks above, I'll pick up a losing entry, and then I won't have any charts left unless I look for more. So hopefully it does go on to work, even though I didn't take the trade, because I don't want to lose all my charts right now. Because I'm not quite ready to stop trading for the day, but I suppose considering how the day started, if I did have to end my day here, it's not too bad. It's overall a green day. So yeah, but on this trade, or on this chart, there's a short on this chart, first entry, second entry below this bar. So short, this is like classic, what it looks like when these lose. And then even on this chart that I haven't traded on, but I've been watching it all day. First entry, second entry short below this bullish bar. And again, just the classic situation, the bullish bar right above the EMA after 2 legs down, made a new low, and then going short right into the EMA. So win or lose, I'm glad I am not in this trade. But again, I really don't want to see this trade fail on any of these charts, because that makes all 3 of my charts go bad at the same time, and I don't trade the chart anymore after just one losing entry for the day. So there it is. All 3 of my charts pick up a loss at the same time. Fortunately, I've seen this occur enough that I know that even on charts, so for example, this chart, I haven't taken a trade off this chart, but this chart, the entire session since yesterday's open, every second entry has worked for my profit target until this just now. And the chart with the most trades I've taken today, 4 trades on this chart, the same thing was true. Every single second entry for this chart has worked for the entire session all day until right now. First entry, second entry short below this bullish candle and pop. And then my last remaining chart that I was trading off of was this chart, which I just recently took a trade off of for the first time today. And first entry short, second entry short below the bar, bullish bar right into the EMA, and took the loss. So I saw this setting up on all these charts at the same time. I was like, there's a part of my thinking where I go, oh, well, if they're all setting up on the chart, on each chart, and all 3 of these charts have been great all day, every single entry works, then you should be able to take the trade, right? Well, that's how I used to think. But now, after doing this, this is my, coming up to the end of my 3rd month trading the system and trading NQ. I've realized that this is exactly what the setup looks like. If a chart's going to lose, that's the kind of entry it's going to lose on, that one or this one. First entry, second entry, just bullish bar. It broke through the EMA, and I'm starting to recognize it now. So I'm thankful that I can recognize it and stay out of it. But I had to walk away to not get tempted into it. That's honestly what happened right there. I had to walk away from the computer and say, okay, whatever happens, I'm going to accept if it wins without me. And I'm going to feel like I did the right thing if I come back and it loses. And so sometimes you just have to do that. No system is perfect. And, my first trade of the day kind of shows that. Like, my first trade of the day right here, the same thing was true of this chart at the time. When I started at 7 o'clock in the morning and started my stream, every single second entry on this chart had worked for my profit target. And so first trade of the day, there's really no rule that I can't take this trade according to my system. And just unlucky enough that when I started, I entered this trade at about 7:04. So within 4 minutes of me starting my day, maybe even less, this trade set up. I took it because of the fact that the chart was winning for the whole session. And right away, it ticked me in. It went a little further, not far enough to get me out of the trade. And then it engulfed my signal bar and took me out of the trade, and then just went on to work for my target. So on this trade, yeah, I could have moved it to a previous swing high. I think in the way I remember it, in the heat of the moment of the trade being active, I looked at this swing and to me, I thought, oh, they're the same, but I really need to measure it. When I measure it, the high is 52.50 and my high of my bar was 53. So that was a lower swing. So I really should have been looking over here to see if this was higher. It would have added 2 points of risk, but what's 2 points of risk, right? That 2 points of risk would have given me my profit. I would have been 6-0 today. So, but it's just the luck of the draw sometimes, right? You can have a perfect looking chart and then take the trade and, unlucky for me, my first trade of the day got that loss. And, it's a bummer because it's on a PA account. So I don't want to, if I'm going to take a loss, I don't want it to be on one of my PA accounts. But I suppose if it was going to be on my PA account, this is the best one it could have been on, because if I got another loss on PA7, since I took a loss on a previous day recently, that would have really put it in harm's way. And if I got a loss on PA2, then I'd be much further away from a payout again. So it kind of landed on the best PA possible. But of course, I'd rather it land on any evaluation, even an evaluation that's close to passing, I'd rather take a loss on. So just the way it goes sometimes. Losses are going to happen. That's why I like the system. It really allows me to take a loss, absorb a loss in my accounts and just move on. And, whereas during previous times, if I would take a loss like that, I'd get upset, get bent out of shape, feel bad, it's on my PA account. Oh no, poor me. And maybe I'd get mad. Maybe I'd try to get it all back, and start taking trades I shouldn't be taking. But because I've got the system in place, I just trade within the system. I don't take trades that don't adhere to my rules. And as you can see, if there's a trade that I'm not sure about, I'm now more willing to skip it. But I try not to skip trades too often, because with this system, when you have a chart that's working, most trades are going to work. It's very rare that you get a situation like this. And I don't know, maybe I just haven't discovered something yet here that could keep me out of this trade. I feel like I have taken a loss kind of similarly recently, where it's kind of like a bullish bar closing right at the EMA with some wick, and then it takes me out. Yeah, I think I had a loss like that last week or the week before. That looks kind of similar, and it took me out just barely, and then goes on to give me my scalp. I have seen that recently. I'll go back and look at recent screenshots. Maybe there's something I can learn from it that I can avoid. But in general, for the most part, I'm trying to, I kind of referenced this earlier when Sagi mentioned something in my chat here about wanting to be able to trade that he was thinking he should hire a robot for trading. And so essentially my system is kind of like a semi-automatic system in a sense, because if I have a chart that has all winning entries, I'm just supposed to take the trade, and there's very few rules or reasons to stay out of a trade. So I'll accept it when I get a loss in this situation, when I don't have a clear reason or rule that I know is pretty legit. I just got to take these trades. And if I get a loss, my loss rate is coming at 1 out of 5 trades, or 2 out of 10 overall. And that's still good enough for me to be able to make Apex successful for my trading. So if it's a little bit higher, it's even better. But the thing is, not letting this loss get to me this morning allowed me to be able to go ahead and pick up 5 wins in a row after that point. And I think that's pretty key. So I don't know what I'm going to do now, because I've got no charts. I either have to look for a new chart or I'm done. That's the other great thing about, I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but that's the other great thing about So the other great thing about my system is there's kind of these built-in risk management rules. So if I trade all of my accounts, I'm done for the day. If I run out of charts, I'm done for the day. And or if it gets past 9 or 9:30, I'm done for the day. So I'm going to take a couple minute break here and just start looking to see if there's any other charts that are worth considering to trade off of. And if not, I'll be back to wrap up the day here. So just give me a couple minutes. I'll be right back. All right. I'm back. Just saying bye to my daughter. She's on her way to school. So what is it going to do? Look for another chart? I think that's the plan. It's almost 9. I'll look around and see if there's something worthwhile here. It's funny. I just found one like that quick. Let's see here. All right, so I'm just looking here. I think so. There's a first entry by a tick here. So this is a second entry below this bar up here. The problem is the bar closed right on the opening price line. And so this is like an example of my latest, newest rule that I've started employing in the last little while, where I'm just observing these situations because when the close is like right on a level, like the opening price line, like literally closed right on it, I'm looking to see if it triggers below it, if they still work, or if that's still going to act as support and end up being a losing entry. Again, this is now a chart that I just found that every second entry on this chart has worked for the entire session since this white line is since the session opened yesterday. So this is another case where I'm just observing. I won't be taking these trades regardless. In theory, it's just a matter of if the bar closes above the white line and the trigger happens above the white line, I think that's when I can't take the trade. Yeah, see, this already has worked for my profit target now. But in a case like this where the trigger doesn't happen until below it, I think I can take it. And this is now the 6th time I've seen a scenario like this, and they've all worked so far. So 6 out of 6 times it's been safe to take the trade. But if this candle were to have closed above here and the wick be somewhere up here, and then the trigger is going into the opening line from above, I think that's when I have to stay out of the trades. That's when I've been picking up some losses, and that's what I've noticed. So so this chart remains good for now. Let's see, make sure 83.50 would be the entry. Yeah, it went to 79, so that's 4.5 points. Yeah, more than enough to have given me my scalp there. All right, so it's probably going to take some time before another setup will occur on this chart. It's a larger chart, larger tick chart. So if nobody has any comments right now, I think I'm just going to start prepping for my review video while I watch this a little bit longer. I'll probably stick around to like 9:30 or so. So another half hour. And if I can get another entry on this chart, I'll take it. But yeah, today started off just as like, started off like, oh man, first trade of the day, a loss. And it was on 2 accounts. I was able to bring 35 back because I kept trading it. PA6, I won't trade a PA more than once in a day right now. So I just accept the loss on it and move on. But you can see if I kept trading it, it would have turned into a green day for it. But I don't like to put any of my accounts at risk in a single day. No single day, no single trade should be able to blow up one of my accounts. So that's how I proceed. And then was able to get four winning trades on this chart, and as well as one here on this chart. So I've taken trades on 3 charts today. And then my 3 good charts that I had all turned into a bad chart in this area right here not too long ago. I talked about that just a little while ago, why I stayed out of that. Actually walked away so I wouldn't be tempted to go into it. And all 3 charts picked up their first losing entry of the day in that spot. So yeah. So I'll go back to my newest chart that I found. And let me, unless someone has a comment, I'm just going to be here in the background real quick, just prepping some of the stuff I put on the screen for the review video. Can't talk today. For the review video that I do every day. Overall, good day. 5-1, 83%, and on target. I mean, 11-2 for the week, 85%. Yesterday was FOMC. Only got 1 trade there, and days before leading up to FOMC, I think I had some less trades for that reason as well. But yet I still have 13 trades for the week, which is great for me, even with 2 losses. 85% is exactly where I'd like to be. 85% is really kind of the tipping point of, if I could be consistently 85% overall, then I'm really going to be able to make a run doing this Apex thing, trading these accounts, and I'll just be able to get more and more aggressive once I get payouts. So, all right, let me just do a couple things here. All right. Got some things prepared there. Not really much to talk about at the moment. We're in this kind of key level area. I would say my expectation is to retest the high. I don't really see a reason why we wouldn't retest the high at the very least today. And then, yeah, to guess what happens from there. New all-time highs today. Pretty amazing. I was not, I don't trade the FOMC and I don't trade during that time, but I was watching the stream of it, of another streamer, and it looked pretty wild, but it usually is. I don't know what else I can talk about here. It's funny how I can definitely be happy with my day, even though I took a hit on this one PA account. You know, at some point, my risk management rules will change for these accounts, and I'll modify them as I move forward. I think I've talked about it a few times where just right now it's just all about getting to a payout, ideally on this 50K account, and taking a max payout. And that will make me break even for my Apex trading. And even at break even, not having the weight of like a couple $1,000s building up on me, like feeling like, oh man, I'm in for $2,000. Even if I could be in at break even, now that I have the system in place and I have a lot of data to show kind of what I can expect for my system, and I think this 81% overall is at the kind of the lower end of where my expectation should be. And even if it's just what it is, even if I do stay at 81%, that will be good enough for me to accomplish what I want to do with Apex overall, with having multiple accounts and trading them in this way. And so, really, I'm just really looking forward to getting this payout. I don't want to jinx myself because I feel like every time I think about payouts, that's when I take a loss on those accounts. But it really will change the game for me in a lot of ways, because ultimately how I want to be able to use these accounts is to use them as like, I don't know what the right analogy would be even, but I want to be able to trade bigger size overall and be willing to lose a account on any given trade, basically. Right now, I don't want to lose an account because I want every account to give me my best chance, right? Especially since I haven't had any payouts and I'm currently, in for $2,000. I'm playing it safer and I'm trying to keep my costs down, right? Like I'm trying to protect the accounts and trying to ensure this payout to get my money back. And so I'm just being very conservative about things and, sticking with small numbers. But at some point, once I'm playing with Apex's money, my game plan is to, push the pedal a little bit more. And, on the 25K accounts, I'll trade 4 contracts on those. Right now, I'm only trading 2. And then on the 50K accounts, right now on the PA account, I'm only trading 2 contracts. On the evaluations on the 50Ks, I'm trading 3 contracts. Although I did switch 35, I'm now trading 4 contracts on that one because the renewal is coming up. I should look. I'm going to look right now and see when exactly that's going to renew. It'd be good to know at this point because I know it is coming up and we're at the end of this week. So let's see here. We're talking about account 35. Account 35. Renews on March 25. Oh, it's closer than I thought. March 25 is Monday. Okay, so it renews on Monday at what, 2100 drawdown. So, I mean, honestly, as long as I stay in this area, if I have 2100 drawdown, I would let that renew as is. Obviously, I'm gonna trade it more tomorrow, hopefully. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. As long as I don't pick up a loss on that account tomorrow, it'll be good for me to just let it renew wherever it's at. I'll be over the starting balance. I'll be near the full drawdown, within 400 right now. So even if I get one win tomorrow, I'll be just, maybe 200 away from full drawdown. And it's 80% whether it renews, or it'd be 80% if I bought a new one. So either way, it's really the same thing. So it looks like I did what I needed to do today to bring this back. If I didn't keep trading it, if I left it as a loss, because I got the loss on that account at the same time as this account, if I wasn't able to bring it back today, then I'd probably be just YOLOing it tomorrow, pass or fail. But right now I'm not YOLOing any accounts, even when I get super close. I mean, here we are, account 31 today. I got a win on it today. And, you could see I'm within, $63 of passing this account. But I'm just staying within my system and my rules. And so I'm not going to trade it yet. It's not renewing anytime soon or anything. So there's no pressure. And it's just going to be an extra fee. I mean, basically, when I have to pay the fee for this, I'll be in for essentially $2,100 because I'll pay lifetime fee. So I'll be into Apex for $2,100. So then already at that point, my one payout, I'm still in the red for $100 basically at that point on Apex. And then you add, the renewal of this evaluation, for instance, and I think 34 is going to come up as well around the same time, maybe even the same day. So now you're looking at another $60. So then I'll be in for 160. So you see the clock already starts ticking on, me being in for Apex again with my own money still. So I really, to really secure my plans, need to get a secondary payout on one of these accounts, or if I get a new PA from this or from this. It's really going to take the second PA account before I'm actually truly profitable, and then can really start going harder on my accounts. So right now I'm just playing the slow game, playing the base hits, and just, this is all an experiment for me at this point. Like this entire trading that I'm doing on YouTube, I've only been trading this system since the day after Christmas. I've only been trading NQ since the day after Christmas, 2023. I traded ES for 3 years before that. So to be trading a system where I'm 81% overall for the whole year, for the first almost 3 months of the year, and to be getting the volume of trades that I'm getting, and to have weeks like this one where I'm like 85%, like everything's where it needs to be for me to get this done. I'm not paying attention here, and this is probably a trade I can take. What account would I do? 29. I'll take this trade. It's above the opening price. I'm expecting a retest of the high. All right. Another trade. That was a nice one. Only 3 contracts. I made 273. It's the biggest win of the day. So I was doing a lot of talking there. I wasn't really paying attention. And then at the last moment, I noticed first entry, second entry long fits my requirements for my rule around this area, because I'm now being super careful about where the opening price would be in this case. But I have an expectation for a new high. Talked about that a little while ago. And noticed the trade just in time to choose an account in my copier and got that win. So that's my 7th trade of the day. All right, I really thought I wasn't going to take any more trades. It was already 9:15. And I really honestly wasn't expecting another setup to come so quickly on this chart, since it's a bigger chart. But price is still moving pretty well. Usually around this time, 9 o'clock on the West Coast, prices start moving a lot slower. Volume starts drying up because of lunchtime on the East Coast. Anyway, so this is trade 7, and I took this on account 29. I'm going to be interested to see how many ticks I got on this one. Looks like 4.75 points. Is that right? Yeah. 4.75 points. So that's 19 ticks. All right, so that was a nice one. Unexpected to get another trade today. But this is what can happen with my system, you know? And this is like, you know, to have 7 trades in a day, like for me, used to be unheard of. I used to wait around all day. I trade till 12:30 in the afternoon on the West Coast, so 3:30 East Coast time. You know, I trade from 7 in the morning till 12:30, 5.5 hours, and I'd be lucky to get 1 or maybe 2 trades a day at best. I was like averaging like 3 trades a week, you know? So this is just, I continue to be amazed that this is working as well as it's working for me. But it's working, you know? There are setbacks along the way. These losses do happen, and they're going to continue to happen. But overall, I just continue to be kind of pleasantly surprised that I'm making this work for me. All right, let me update my stats real quick here. All right, so this is now the 4th chart I've traded today. And this is another thing that I'm loving about my system is the ability to trade on multiple tick charts, not being like, oh, which is the tick chart to trade? You know, like, on ES, you know, Mac teaches on his price action trading system, you know, trade the 2000 tick chart. I traded the 2000 ES tick chart for 3 years. I was getting, like I was just talking about, like 1 to 3 trades a week. It's ridiculous. I admit when I first started, it was different. I mean, during kind of like after the pandemic, 21 kind of 2021, it was better. I was getting more trades, but I wasn't good enough at the system yet. But now I'm trading multiple tick charts. I'm trading the NQ, which just has a lot more give. It's like you can take a bad trade and still win if you're just scalping. But this is like the thing. It's like more charts, more opportunities, right? And I'm just trading NQ. It's not like I'm looking at ES and NQ and YM and a bunch of things. I'm just watching one instrument, but I have way more opportunities because I'm trading multiple size charts. So just way more opportunities, and today's like a good example of that, where I've taken trades on 4 different charts. So I know a lot of people that use like different time charts, or they'll trade off the 2-minute, but they watch the 5-minute and the 15-minute and the hour, and whatever it is, but they only trade off of the 1 2-minute chart or whatever their choice is, which is cool. But I found for me, I really like this style of trading where I have multiple charts I'm looking at for different tick sizes, and my entries are very black and white, very clear. And when the trade comes, I take it. And there's very few rules to keep me out of trades, and losses will come here and there. But overall, the data keeps showing that, I have a overall high winning percentage, and it's high enough that I should be able to be profitable. So now I'm going to have to do more prep for my review video because I wasn't expecting to get an extra trade. So I've got to add this into what I had prepared before. So I'm going to continue to hang for a little bit longer. I mean, it's coming close to 9:30, so and we are going to apparently reach the retest of the high, which is kind of what I was expecting. So not sure if it makes sense for me to stick around much longer after that, but I was surprised that I even saw this trade set up and took it. And it's another thing. I mean, it's far away from the EMA. I mean, there's like, if you're trading a system where you're drawing trend lines and stuff, maybe you can't take that trade. Trading max rules, if you know price action trading system, maybe you can't take that trade. But the reality is most of my trades you can't take using that guy's system. Most days, most trades, just you can't take the trades I'm taking and feel confident about it. I mean, look at this. This is like a terrible signal bar, right? But I had every confidence in the world of taking this trade, honestly. There was no hesitation. Every time I was taking a trade using that guy's system, every single time I was nervous, hesitant. Should I take it? Shouldn't I take it? Am I reading things right? It's like all of that is just completely gone from my trading now. It's really, I just love it. I mean, I love the way I'm trading now. It's crazy. Like before, I'd just always be so in my head, and the analysis paralysis would keep me out of good trades. Then finally I'd see a trade that I thought was like perfect. I'd take it, I'd lose. It's just a total mind fuck. And I'm so glad I'm not trading that way anymore. I really am. So glad I decided to move on. And it really took, it's funny, it took YouTube for me to, I don't know, have the balls to really try something different. Because when I started my YouTube, it was like for a different purpose. I was trading a different strategy than this, one that I had really just come up with myself using an indicator that I hadn't seen people using for futures. And I was applying rules and setups, reasons to enter trades on that indicator that I had never seen anyone do before. And it was working. Like I probably, if I stuck with it a little longer, I probably could have made it work better. I had a really good first 2 months on YouTube with it. And then the end of the year, it just went horribly wrong. And it went so bad that it just made me think that like it wasn't viable And then I had the opportunity to try this system out and start trading NQ. And it's really changed everything for me. I mean, trading is so much easier for me now. I think that might be the biggest thing is I don't feel exhausted after I'm done trading. I'm also able to trade until only 9:30. So, I'm coming up on it now. 2.5 hours is kind of like really as long as I need to trade. There's no reason to really need to trade longer than that. I mean, I still have 2 accounts I haven't traded today. So if I wanted to push it and say, okay, I just want to get a trade for every account, I could do that. But I also know with my system, the later the day gets, the more likely that a chart that has all winning entries since the session open, the more likely a loss is going to come eventually, right? So the later in the day I trade, the more likely I'm going to pick up another loss is how I look at it. So 9:30 is like a good time to cut it off. And I think that's what I'm going to do here. I mean, nothing's going to set up that makes sense for me to take anytime soon. And I'm happy with my day. I started off with the loss. Here. And then my day has been nothing but great since. I went 4-0 on this chart and then switched to this chart, picked up a win. And then shortly after that, the 3 charts that I was playing at that time all took a losing entry that I didn't take. And so then you saw me switch to this chart and get this one last trade that I wasn't even expecting to take another trade at that point. So I do think I'm going to wrap it up here. Thanks for anyone that's been coming by and checking things out. Would love for anyone to participate in the chat. If you ever have a question or comment, I'm here for it. Please do like and subscribe if you want to continue following me on my journey. I don't know where this is going to lead me. Trading NQ is so new for me. Trading this way is so new for me. We're getting close to the finish of the 3rd complete month, and on the right path. 86% for the day, 6-1 for the week. I'm now 12-2, 86%, and for the year, 147 wins and 34 losses for 81%. So the numbers are adding up in the right direction for me. So I gotta just stay positive. And I feel like I'm doing the right things for me and my personality and my style, what makes sense for me and what works for me, even despite a big loss on one of the accounts. It's funny, I'm ending the day feeling like I'm just completely green. Like I'm not even thinking about this at all. And that's huge. Like how many people can take a $456 loss and feel like they're walking away green today, and that's just the power of Apex, the power of multiple accounts, being able to work towards goals, treating these accounts separately, treating them like they're not cash accounts. I didn't lose $458 today. Like that's actually not even a thing. I didn't make, overall, I'm not up $460 today. That's not a thing either. I'm just one step closer to the goals of all these accounts and one step behind on this one account. And eventually, if things continue in this direction, I should be able to get my first payout ever on Apex coming up very soon. I'm just going to continue to do base hits, get that first payout, and hopefully that will unlock the door to me being able to really make a run at this thing. And I'd like to be able to kick it into gear sooner than later, just because you never know what's going to happen with Apex or prop firms in the future. So that's my goal, to start making it happen sooner than later, but still I'm taking my time until I prove it. Okay, 80% discount still going on. You can use this code or any other. Just make sure you use a code so you get the best discount possible. Right now it's 80% and 1 day pass on the evaluations till March 27th. And like and subscribe if you want to continue supporting me and my efforts to get better at this trading thing, and follow me on my journey, see if I can finally get to a payout. And what else can I say? I think it's half price resets. Maybe it's $35 off. I'm not really sure. Check the link down below, and it'll take you to Apex's website, and you can see what the current full deal and offer is. And I think I've said it all for now. Overall, not a bad day. 6-1, 86%. I'll take it. Hope you had a good trading day. Be back at it tomorrow.